And welcome back to Elmhurst, Illinois at Elmhurst College, home of the Blue Jays. What an interesting first half alongside Evan Lotz and Ben McClavick. What an eventful and interesting first half that was for the Chargers and for the Eagles of Chicago Hope Academy, the Chargers from St. Joe's, and the Eagles lost their starting quarterback, and for the Chargers it was a bunch of penalties.
And now, Tony, you talked to the refs for a brief moment during halftime. Can you maybe give us an insight of what those penalties exactly were?
I did end up walking down the field and talking to the refs, and on that first drive for the Eagles, when there was about 7 consecutive encroachment calls, the refs talked to Coach Petrosky and asked them, do you want us to take him off the field, or do you want to take him off the field? That was Kevin Flowers, I believe, on the consecutive encroachment calls, and they warned Coach Petrosky. They said if he draws another encroachment call, they will take him off the field and give him an unsportsmanlike conduct. And on the sideline warning, there was a confusion there. We thought it was back-to-back unsportsmanlike on the sideline warning, but it was a sideline warning, then it was a unsportsmanlike, and then back to a sideline warning.
That is interesting, a whole interesting series of events there, definitely.
I mean, for me, this first half, I just think neither team could really find any semblance of rhythm or consistency on offense. And sure, yeah, Chicago Hope, they're without their starting quarterback and probably the most dynamic person in this game. But the one thing we wanted St. Joseph's to cut back on tonight were the penalties and the turnovers. And that's why they're down 14-0 right now. The second touchdown for Chicago Hope came off of
from their backup quarterback, Pankow, Jaden
right.
Pankow.
And that all started with
the
Caleb Hayden trying to do a little bit too much. He did a nice job to scramble out of the pocket when some pressure came, but he threw an interception because the ball was just a little bit underthrown. So a lot of the keys to the second half for St. Joseph's are what I thought were going to be the keys at the beginning of the game. How are they going to come out and show Chicago Hope that they can play with them and kind of keep them on their toes as opposed to the other way around?
So the St. Joe's Chargers will be receiving the second half kickoff, and they will be going right to left, as it is 14-0 Chicago Hope Academy Eagles leading the Chargers, and the kicker for the Eagles is getting ready, set to kick off to the Chargers, and back there for the Chargers is Desmond McPhail, and that is number 10, William Zanis, kicking off for the Eagles, and he is set to kick off, and there it is, up in the air, and it will be received by number 88, Malik Mason, the big man, and he is reversing field, tries to go up the field, and that was about 20 yards, but a net of about a 5-yard gain there on the return.
I ran into Mason when I stepped out of the box up here for a quick second, and he was on the sideline near the concession stand, panting and breathing and asking for Gatorade. He was definitely winded. And also, just another quick tidbit, the Indians just lost, and their whole streak is over. So 22 games comes to an end there against the Royals.
So the streak ends there at 22 for the Indians, as we are back here and the Chargers are on offense. Hayden takes the snap in shotgun and pressured once again, this time taken down for the sack by Nick White for the Eagles. And that was a big loss for the Chargers, as they are backed up at their own 15-yard line now.
Number 60 for the Chargers. I don't have a name for him there, but was definitely slow to get up. Do we have a name? Doesn't look like it.
But he was not on the program.
Yeah, there's a good chance he might have been a JV starter, I believe, or something of the sort, because I know a lot of these guys go both ways.
And here we go. Hayden takes the snap and shotgun once again. This time looks down the field, down the far sideline. That pass is complete to Zach Ford. And he gets it at the 45-yard line of the Chargers, breaks a few tackles, and gets out of bounds at midfield. What a beautiful pass and catch by the Chargers. That was Hayden to Ford. And it'll be first down at the 45-yard line of the Chargers.
And finally, Hayden's been able to find Ford for the long gain that even on these past couple plays, it's been the same formula for Chicago Hope on defense. I saw 6 guys in the backfield, but Hayden created just enough space to get the throw off.
So here's Hayden throwing a wide receiver screen, and it is too high for Malik Mason. You have to think, I mean, how high do you have to throw the ball to Mason to overthrow him? And there is number 60 once again on the ground, the lineman for the Chargers.
He was slow to get up again. I'm trying to wonder what ails him here. He is the center, looks like, as he takes position with the ball in his hands at their own 45.
As it is 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line of the Chargers, Hayden takes the snap, hands it off to number 35, and he is up the middle of the field going towards the numbers and tries to get in the end zone. It is just shy at the 1-yard line. That was number 35, Zion Timms, for the Chargers. An enormous run. That was about a 54-yard run for the Chargers.
And we were talking earlier about Trayson Timms. Let's take a look at this replay here. We were talking about Trayson Timms and his speed and when he was going to show up, and we were mentioning something about him showing up in the second half, and this is exactly what I expect to see. A great burst of power from Trayson Timms that takes him all the way to the 3-yard line. Let's see what they can do.
So now it is 1st and goal at the 3-yard line, and Hayden tries to quarterback sneak and take it himself, but he is met at the line of scrimmage and will get a gain of 1. So it'll be 2nd and goal. And the Chargers are knocking at the doorstep of the Eagles with 10:30 left in this second half of in the third quarter. So now Hayden in the pistol formation with Timms, and he gets just demolished and gets taken back all the way to the 14-yard line of the Eagles. So what a terrible loss there for the Chargers.
Yeah, going. Oh, my apologies.
You really just didn't have any time there. That this has kind of been the make or break for the St. Joseph's offense, is whether or not Hayden has enough time to get something off, and a very crucial sack there.
All right, and a big play, a big sack brings up 3rd and 14.
So now pistol formation once again for Hayden, and Timms in the backfield just behind him. As he is getting ready to take the snap, he does, looks back to pass, looks to his left. He had number 14, Desmond McPhail, and there is a flag on the field. It will most likely be pass interference on number 25, Eric Mullen, for the Eagles. And let's see what the call is. It is pass interference indeed.
Pass interference call on the Eagles.
That was number 25, Eric Mullen, on the pass interference.
And it looks like the recipe for St. Joseph's this drive is that if they can get into that second level of this Chicago Hope offense, that's where the big plays are coming from. That's where we saw the big run. Looks like McPhail is going to have some opportunities out on the edge there like he did just there.
So that will take the ball to the 7-yard line of the Eagles. And in the pistol formation, which has been working for the Chargers, Hayden in the pistol formation takes the snap, looks right, looks left, an incomplete pass intended for Zach Ford. A low pass there by Hayden.
Now, if you are the Chargers, do you go for it to try to quickly get on the board, which would be 14-6 at this point, or are you just going to kick the easy field goal?
I would go for it, but on that 3rd down, so it is it 3rd or 2nd down? They have 2nd.
Oh,
and
that must have been a repeat of downs on that pass interference.
Okay, so now it is 2nd.
And now it is
2nd down.
Yes, 2nd down.
And Hayden in pistol formation once again looks to his left, being pressured, and throws it through the end zone, intended for Malik Mason. And now it is 3rd down and goal for the Chargers.
A little confusion. It looks like the linesman, he's got 4th down.
Yeah, if you can see to that far right there, yeah, that linesman is showing 4th down. You can't really see from our angle here.
So the linesman is calling 4th down, and then we see 3rd down on the scoreboard. So let's see if they can clarify something here for us.
Nobody knows what's going on. There's a lot of confusion. As you can see, some Chargers are just standing around, hands on their hips, wondering what's going on. And the Eagles bring on a total.
The offense?
Wow. So
it was a turnover on downs.
Turnover on downs, and they are calling it.
With this, yeah, this is wrong. I mean, the down should have
Petrosky's
reset.
furious.
The down should have reset on the pass interference. They ran 2 plays from there. It should be 3rd down.
No, this is absurd. They were only given 3 down, and there's a penalty.
So that penalty has to be on the Eagles. Their offensive player number 24, Nick White, could not get off the field in time.
What is going on?
This game has been all over the place. I mean, from the refs to Coach Petrosky.
There is just mass confusion in the press box and on the field right now.
I mean, the referees are just wrong. I mean, it should be 3rd down.
Easily.
So, unfortunately for the Chargers, it is 1st and 10 for the Eagles as Pankow hands it off to Williams, and Williams with an amazing run to the 42-yard line. And what a change of events there.
Zach Ford there lost his helmet, and he is furious right now, taking off his glove, throwing it on the field. He is furious. Yep, he gets his helmet back.
Looks like this game's starting to open up a little bit as emotions are starting to run high.
This is definitely, yeah, you're definitely going to want to tune in here. And Zach Ford throws down his helmet, slams it down. He is furious. You can see him towards the bottom of the screen.
Wow,
a coach.
He is.
Looks like that is defensive coordinator. Excuse me.
He is yelling, "Let go of me," to the coach there, and they are having a talk on the sideline.
I believe that's wide receiver coach Chris Ricca there.
Wow, that is unbelievable. What a change of events there for the Chargers. It should have been either 3rd and 4th goal at the 7-yard line. Instead, it went the other way for the Eagles.
And now they're on the 40-yard line. I honestly, Zach Ford, in this instance, has every reason to be absolutely outraged. I don't believe the way he handled it was appropriate, but he has every instance to be outraged.
So I think now it's important for St. Joseph and for Chicago Hope too to keep the emotions down, to kind of settle down in this game, or else we're going to see big plays like Derek Williams just had for Chicago Hope, that they can't let the game get the best of them in this situation. Yeah, okay, it's a bad kind of roll of the dice that they got here, but if they don't watch it here in this next drive, these next 5 minutes, as emotions are still high, this game could get away from St. Joseph's.
9:10 left in this 3rd quarter, and it is 1st and 10 for the Eagles of Chicago Hope Academy at their own 42-yard line. Just when you thought, when the Chargers were finally going to break the shutout and score, it is going the other way, and now the Eagles have all the momentum. Jaden Pankow now in shotgun with Derek Williams to his right, getting ready to receive the snap in shotgun, and there it is, hands off to Derek Williams. Williams up the middle and driving his legs, met by a host of Chargers, and gets knocked down at the 45-yard line with a gain of 3.
We were talking about the fact that there couldn't be a way for this game to get crazier after the first half we had, and I think it's safe to say that this game just got crazier. I mean, easily a missed call by the refs.
So Pankow in shotgun again with Williams to his right. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to the middle of the field, throws down the field, and that pass is caught. Caught by number 1, LaFabian Fain, at the 19-yard line of the Chargers.
Yeah, that was quite the catch. It ended up Neil Campbell on the play.
Oh, Neil Campbell, excuse me. I saw one. I didn't see the 4.
Well, between Campbell and Fain all night, neither of them really have had trouble finding space, getting past the St. Joseph secondaries we can see here on this replay.
And that was Campbell's first catch. Remember, he dropped 2 touchdowns in the first half as Pankow takes the snap and hands it off on the jet sweep to Campbell, trying to give him the touchdown, and Campbell slips, trying to make a cut to his left, and gets down to about the that looks like the 17-yard line.
I got really nervous when he slipped there. It looked very similar to Trevor Land when he went down. I got really nervous, but thankfully he got up quickly and returns to the lineup.
And it looks like they're getting more comfortable with Pankow out there. They've now brought Fane in motion, coming off and doing a little bit of play action there, trusting his arm.
As Pankow takes the snap and handed it off to Williams, but it
looks like a false start.
Yeah, that's a false start on the Eagles. So it'll be 2nd down and 12 at the 22-yard line for the Eagles.
And if you're the Chargers right now, you got to really put a stop to this quick. You got to put a stop to this drive, get the ball back, and start driving the other way.
Pankow in shotgun. Williams to his right. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Williams, looking right, rolls right, throws to Campbell, and the pass is caught, but out of bounds as he was shoved out of bounds. A great play there by the Chargers defenders. That was number 13, Zach Ford, and number 14, Desmond McPhail.
Well, there's good coverage on the play that they're going to need continue throughout the night to have Zach Ford come over and help on McPhail. McPhail's gotten beat a couple times now by Campbell, as we saw in the first half with a couple of those drop touchdowns.
As we were seeing here on the replay, he had the catch, but he was forced out of bounds, so there was no call there because he did catch the ball, and then there was contact after the catch. So Pankow now in shotgun once again. Williams to his right. Looks to the sideline, takes the snap, drops back to pass, looks right once again, and the pass is caught. Campbell at the goal line and gets in for the touchdown with the second effort. He was met at the 1-yard line, received some contact, and pushed forward for the touchdown. So now it is 20-0 with the Eagles up.
Not only is this sort of like a dagger in the back of the St. Joe's Chargers, this play also started on a missed call, bringing the ball on a turnover. What should have been a 4th down for St. Joe's, as we were bringing up earlier, is now a touchdown as we see him running in the end zone and celebrating there.
So now William Zanis is set for the extra point, and his placeholder wobbled onto the field. That was number 56, Keyshawn Kraft. Gingerly walked over, took a knee to receive the ball to set it up for Zanis, and the kick is up, and it is good. So it is 21-0, 7:12 left in this 3rd quarter. The Eagles up over the Chargers of St. Joe's, and that was a backbreaker.
And if you're St. Joe's right now, the name to the game is clock management. You need to work with what you have left. Now we're going to start thinking definitely some more deep ball passes here, getting across, starting drives at their own 20, getting backed up after this kick. They're going to need to go in the air, getting the ball downfield, and then eventually getting into the end zone. I mean, that's the key to the game, of course, and they definitely need to put up some points.
I mean, really right now the only thing they can hang their hat on is that they were able to sustain a drive coming out to start the second half, that hopefully if they can kind of continue this next drive, that they can put themselves in a position maybe to get back in this game. But they got to have kind of the mentality now not to get all 21 points just in one drive. I talked about the last drive. They needed to kind of corral their emotions back to prevent this game from getting away from them. But Chicago Hope just went 90 yards in a few minutes here. So,
and this crowd now is absolutely silent. Now, Coach Petrosky earlier was getting the crowd fired up as long as the players. This is what he needs to do right now. This crowd needs to get back in the game, and St. Joe's needs to get the momentum on their side.
As Zanis is set to kick off to the Chargers, McPhail. And awaiting the kick. Whistle has yet to be blown, and there it is. Zanis kicks it off to McPhail, but that will be Ford receiving the kick. Ford receives it at the 11-yard line, goes to his left, but then cuts back to the right and is taken down at about the 20-yard line. Make that the 19-yard line of the Chargers, so it'll be 1st and 10 at the 19 for for the Chargers with 7:05 left in this third quarter.
Talking about the drives, like I said, starting behind the 20, deep in their own territory, they really need to focus on, I would say, getting in the air at this point. I mean, if you have an incomplete pass, it doesn't run the clock any, even though we are only in the third quarter. Time is starting to become a little bit of an issue with the way St. Joseph's been playing tonight offensively.
I think more importantly, St. Joseph's just has to find some consistency on offense.
Absolutely.
Which has eluded them all night. They haven't really established much of a running game, but really them getting back in this game is going to be kind of dependent on their line.
As Hayden takes the snap, being pressured, throws deep down the left sideline, and it is incomplete to number 14, Desmond McPhail. That was a bit short. Number 4 on the coverage, Jaquez Bailey for the Eagles.
You got to imagine McPhail might have lost the ball in the lights, I would think. I mean, that ball was coming straight to the breadbasket there, maybe a little bit in front of him, but he got up and looked quite confused.
Yeah, it almost looks like he didn't see it towards the end. The ball looked to be just about aligned with him at about the Chicago Hope 45-yard line. It looks like he just didn't see it.
As it is 2nd and 10 in the pistol formation, Hayden takes a snap, now looks to run, running toward the left, now running upfield at the 30, and gets to the 32-yard line of the Chargers, so it'll be 1st down and 10 at the 32-yard line. A nice run there by Hayden.
A great block on the edge by Desmond McPhail at about the 30-yard line. Without that block, he probably doesn't get the 1st down, and it looked like the receiver to his left kind of brought his defender more towards the center of the field, opening up a lane to the left for that 1st down.
So Hayden and the Chargers hurrying up now, gets the snap, throws to his left to McPhail, and he gets the catch. What a beautiful catch by McPhail, high-pointing the ball and receiving it at the 50-yard line, but there is a flag on the field.
There is a flag on the field.
It's defensive.
Yeah, it's a pass interference.
Definitely.
So the penalty will be declined, and here we go. Just like the last drive that got them going, it was a scramble and a run by Hayden, and then a beautiful pass after. But this time to McPhail. Last drive was to Ford, and now they are getting things going once again.
Yeah, and it looks like McPhail's having some success on the edge. It looks like that's number 25. Number 25, Eric Mullen from Chicago Hope out there guarding him. McPhail, last couple possessions, has been able to get a little bit of space.
So now what has been working for them in this second half has been the pistol formation. They are in it once again. Hayden takes the snap, looks back to pass, and ready to scramble again as he does and takes it himself. Gets to the 42-yard line of the Eagles, and that is close to a 1st down, so it'll be 2nd and short.
And that is a giant amongst men. You see him taking those strides. He looks unreal. Those are some definitely big strides.
And see, with the amount of people that Hope is bringing in, if Hayden can get outside of the pocket to that edge, he can find some space to run.
As Hayden takes the snap, hands it off to Timms, and Timms is met before he can get to the line of scrimmage, so that will be a loss of 4 yards, it looks like, so that'll bring them back, and it'll be 3rd and 6.
Might have wanted to hold my tongue here, but I haven't seen all too many penalties so far. Maybe
Yeah,
only 1 or 2.
Let's not jinx it. There was
Yeah.
a pass interference a couple plays ago.
But seriously, nothing compared to our...
As Hayden takes the snap, rolls to his left, throws deep down the sideline to McPhail, and he also had number 10, Jesse McDonald, but incomplete in between both receivers.
Yeah, and our penalties have not been the same as they were in the first half, which is really good to see. It seems like both these teams have kind of settled in and found a rhythm and are sticking to it.
So now it is 4th and 6 at the 46-yard line of the Eagles. Chargers were driving and they were stalled, and now they will be punting the ball away. Zach Ford back to punt, and that looks like number 14 for the Eagles, Neil Campbell, to receive the punt, or is it? Can't see the
Can't
number
exactly
there.
see there.
And here's the punt. Ford punts it. Nice high punt to the 20. Takes a favorable bounce for the Chargers all the way down to the 10-yard line.
It's going to be spotted at the 9.
Make that the 9-yard line.
Awesome punt.
And remember Ford, who was all fired up, extremely frustrated after they were ready to score a touchdown a couple of drives ago, seems to settle down and takes his energy out on the punt there.
And it looks like St. Joseph's is just trying to flip the field a little bit. Have faith in their defense that if they can get a stop, that maybe they can either force a turnover here or force Chicago Hope to punt here, maybe get something closer to the into the Chicago side of the field.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 9-yard line for the Eagles at their own 9-yard line, and Pankow in the shotgun with Williams to his right. 5:03 left in the third quarter as he hands it off to Williams, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. Great defense there by the Chargers. Make it a loss of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 11 at the at their own 8-yard line.
Derek Williams on the carry.
5 minutes left here in this third quarter. Tony Guzman alongside Evan Lotz, Ben McClavick. We are streaming live on the Illinois Media School Facebook page. And Pankow hands it off to Campbell on the jet sweep. Campbell trying to break it outside, and beautiful contain. Great defense by the Chargers there, as there is a flag on the field, another flag.
However, there is a flag on the field.
Yeah, it looks like Chicago Hope is pretty content here to just run what they know, run the ball. That if they can get something going in this drive, great. But if not, they'll chew up a little bit of the clock in this third quarter. If they can get out of the third quarter with a 21-point lead and not giving up any points, I would think they would take that going into the fourth.
I mean, it is early in the second half, so there's plenty of time for the Chargers to try and make a comeback. But it does seem that the Eagles are trying to run the clock out here early, running the ball in consecutive plays. They were moving the ball nicely, passing the ball by their backup quarterback Jaden Pankow, and now it is 3rd and 10. Make it 3rd and 11 at the 9-yard line for the Eagles. And another flag. It is
I shouldn't have
false
talked.
start on the receiver.
Shouldn't have said anything.
And that is the second false start on the on the receivers for the Eagles, and that's just, you can't get a false start if you're a receiver. You are looking at the ball.
One guy for Chicago Hope that I haven't really heard or seen much of tonight was the senior Najee Harris. Just 2 weeks ago, 115 yards receiving. Haven't seen much of him tonight. You wonder if the loss of Trevor Lane has a lot to do with it. They haven't really called his number a lot with Pankow, so maybe that's someone they try to go to later in this game.
So now it is 3rd and long for the Eagles at their own 6-yard line.
And I got to imagine here the D-line's going to break through trying to get to that safety.
Pankow in shotgun. Takes the snap, surveys the field, looks to his right, and passes complete to number 6, Justin Adams. And Justin Adams is still on his feet, takes it all the way to the 17-yard line. Make that the 18-yard line of the Eagles.
Nice play by the sophomore there. Really, though, St. Joseph's can't afford to be missing any type of tackles, but it appears they've bent, but they haven't broken. But it looks like
so it is
Hope
going to
Academy's
be
to go.
4th and 2, and the Eagles are going for it at their own 18-yard line. What a gutsy call here by the Eagles, and it seems like they are trying to draw them offsides, draw the Chargers offsides, that is, but they will not look to snap the ball, as the head coach for the Eagles will call a timeout right before the play clock ends.
Now, do you think they're going to bring out their punting team?
Absolutely.
right. That's exactly what they're doing. They're just seeing if they could draw them off sides, and they've done it double-digit amount of times tonight. Doesn't hurt to try. Worst that happens, you delay a game or you have to burn one of your timeouts. But when I saw them coming out to go for it on 4th down, you had to know that's what it was. You can't afford to give up this kind of field position with 15 minutes still left to play. You're up 3 scores. Pretty sensible move here to just punt it away.
Yeah, you would think that's exactly as they hurried up to the line of scrimmage so they can give themselves plenty of time to wind the clock down, and they did end up calling a timeout, so clearly they were just trying to draw them off sides. Tony Guzman here alongside Evan Lotz, Ben McClavick here in Elmhurst, Illinois at Elmhurst College, home of the Blue Jays, as it has been lopsided here. The Chicago Hope Academy Eagles lead the St. Joe's Chargers 21-0 in the late stages of the third quarter, and they are set to punt. That is number 10 for the Eagles, William Zanis, punting the ball to Zach Ford of the Chargers.
Ford's got a chance to make a big return.
Absolutely, and field position is favoring the Chargers. Zanis with the punt, and a nice high punt. Ford will not receive the punt, and it takes a odd bounce when it went back and forth, but it will be downed at the 49-yard line of the Eagles, so great field position for the Chargers.
And this is exactly what I think St. Joseph had intended their last drive when they decided to punt from about their own 45-40-yard line, is that you punt it away, give your defense a chance to get a stop, and then now you have good field position. You're starting on Hope's side of the field.
So it hasn't seemed to be designed runs by Hayden. It seemed more of a scramble and run, but you have to think, you have to keep the ball in his hands and have him run the ball instead of throwing down the field. And here he is in the empty back set, looking to pass, and a beautiful screen call to Ford, and Ford goes up the left sideline, and a beautiful move, and Ford is down, but he gets to the 35-yard line of the Eagles, and Ford is hurt. Looks like he rolled his ankle there, but he is hobbling over to the sideline.
And Jared Pankow got to Hayden just before he threw it. Kind of really no pressure from the offensive line to try and stop him. That's kind of been the trend this entire game, is that the offensive line has had trouble picking up these Chicago Hope defenders on the edge.
Another empty back set for Hayden as he takes the snap, surveys the field, and he is tries to avoid the rush, and he does with the beautiful spin move, and Hayden gets all the way to the 31-yard line.
Down to about the 30-yard line.
Seriously, they almost call it horsepower?
Make that second and five for the Chargers with 2:35 left in the third quarter. Here is Hayden once again in the empty back set. Takes the snap, looks to his left, throws left, intended for number 10. That was a great play by Jesse McDonald. That was an underthrown ball by Hayden, and he just turned into a defensive back and swatted that away and there is a Eagles player down on the field. A lot of injuries and a lot of flags as of late, guys.
Yeah, that was an interesting play going down deep to the left side of the end zone there. I was expecting to see maybe a pass interference, but it looked clean enough to the refs, I guess.
Yeah, well, a little bit underthrown on the play. Hayden trying to make something happen with his arm.
Uncatchable.
I think it was just a little battle between receiver and defender. Not really much there. I mean, especially at this point, I think the refs want to let them play a little bit for all the penalties they've had so far.
Yeah, so Jesse McDonald did turn into a defender there as he tried to receive the ball. Zach Ford is now up and walking on the sideline, but the Eagles player is still down on the field, and the Eagles trainers are attending to him, trying to see what is going on, what is hurting him. But there is just over 2 minutes. It's 2:01 left, and a big third down for the Chargers. They are down 21-0 to the Eagles, and there it is. Number 24 is up and walking off under his own power. That is Nick White, who was down for quite a while, but now looks to be a little bit better as he's walking off towards his sideline on his own power.
And really, this has kind of been the story of the game: injuries, penalties, stoppages in play. And I'm not going to blame the injuries on the players, but this really has been the reason why that neither offense can really find any sort of consistent rhythm on the play. And I think that's really what's kind of held St. Joseph's back so far offensively.
All these stoppages are messing them up.
Here's Hayden, takes the snap in the pistol formation, looks to his left, goes to his left, and he's going to take it himself past the first down marker at the 10-yard line, and he's still up gets out at about the 7-yard line. What a beautiful run there by Hayden. And once again, a scramble, not a designed run, and a beautiful run that was.
I love watching that man run. You see him? Oh, it's like a giant amongst men, like I said before. He's taking massive strides, getting all the way down to the 7-yard line. And here we go. St. Joe's gets another attempt. Will they cross the plane?
So it is at the Eagles' 6-yard line, 1st and goal for the Chargers. In the pistol formation, Hayden takes the snap, looks right, throws to his right, and that pass is caught and gets a couple of yards. That will be downed at the 3-yard line for the Chargers. That was number 23, Javante Bright. So it'll be 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line, and the Chargers are hurrying up here in the pistol formation. And Hayden fumbles the snap. The ball is still loose. It looks like the Eagles have it. And once again, so now the referees are talking, and
yeah, Neil Campbell came up with the ball, and I'm not sure what happened there, but Hayden, when he fumbles the snap initially, he just has to go straight down on the ball, make sure he doesn't give it up.
So just when you think they were ready to score, knocking at the door once again, he got a little too excited.
The officials
and
are
lost the snap.
gathering. Oh, it doesn't appear. Nope. That is fumble on the play.
Yeah, so it is Eagles ball. It will be 1st and 10 at their own 7-yard line for the Eagles. So another unfortunate turnover, and Hayden just tried to hurry up too quickly there. I mean, he didn't secure the snap. He looked to hand it off too soon. He turned his head and he dropped the ball.
Yeah, it looked like he was almost in his motion to hand the ball off before he even got it.
And here's Pankow for the Eagles, hands it off, and that will be the running back for the Eagles will not get to the line of scrimmage. That was, I believe, LaFabian Fain for the Eagles that make that a loss of 2.
Brought down by Shamar McDade Bishop. Loss of 2.
So it'll be 2nd and 12 for the Eagles as Pankow is in his own end zone. They have to be careful here. Maybe an opportunity for the Chargers to pounce on defense.
Looks like they're going to take their time here. Just try and run down this 3rd quarter clock as much as they can. Take a 21-point lead in the 4th.
As they hand the ball off, and once again met at the line of scrimmage. Doesn't even get to the line of scrimmage as the Chargers defense is holding up nicely here. Another loss of 1. So it'll be 3rd down and long at the 4-yard line of the Eagles.
And it has to be demoralizing for the St. Joseph's
defense. And that
defense.
will do it for the 3rd quarter. Chargers players holding up the 4. And it is 21-0 Eagles on top. And we will take a quick timeout here in Elmhurst, Illinois at Elmhurst College. We'll be right back. Elmhurst College, Tony Guzman here alongside Ben McClavick, Evan Lotz, and the Eagles are ready to take their 3rd down play, backed up against their own end zone, and a weird event. I mean, it looked like Hayden had landed on the ball there before they called it a turnover for the Chargers, but here is Pankow for the Eagles, ready to take the snap in shotgun, sends Williams in motion, takes the snap, looks to his right, and there is another flag on the field. A flag on the field, and that is a false start on Chicago Hope Academy, and there is a player down for the Eagles by the 28-yard line. So an official's timeout.
We got an injured Eagle.
Right, I can't see the number there as he was already laying down, and the trainers are attending to him.
But like you were saying earlier, I think that was just a weird stage of events. The quarterback fell on the ball, but it seems to squeak out again.
So
here we can take a look at the play.
Replay.
He fell on the ball. His knee's down.
He doesn't have the ball. Yeah, he never does have the ball again. The ball is just laying there, I think. I don't think he ever gets it back.
Do you think we can take another look at that there? So
he never does he never has the ball. The ball doesn't get picked up by anyone until Campbell at the end.
Yeah, so the ball was moving around a lot. It was never secured by Hayden, so that was a good call by the officials, as the player for the Eagles is still down on the far sideline at the 28-yard line.
I'm not exactly I don't exactly have an official's bias for this game, so to speak. There have been definitely some interesting calls on both sides. And then there's also just been a plethora of penalties tonight as well. This is not a good night for the officials.
Right. I mean, not that I'm saying that the officials are favoring the Eagles, but the Chargers have been frustrating with all those encroachment calls and just the sideline warnings and Coach Petrosky frustrating the officials. So I wouldn't be surprised. We actually shouldn't be surprised that they didn't call Hayden down by contact on that fumble. And, you know, it seems to be like all these calls are going for the Eagles. But, as you know, they are calling a good game, as they did just recently call a false start on the Eagles.
And as you can see right now on the sideline right now, number 4, Ezekiel Boos, is warming up just below us, just below the press box. I wonder if St. Joseph's is going to make a quarterback change coming out into this next offensive possession.
We were talking earlier, like I said again, Ben, you and I were talking about the keys to the game. St. Joe's cannot have any turnovers, and they can't have penalties, and that's all we've had tonight.
And I think that's probably why they might be making the move here to boost the young freshman that we see warming up. Maybe can kind of mitigate some of these turnovers that we've seen so far from Hayden. Granted, the fumble, he went to go make his handoff before he actually got the ball. He underthrew a ball, scrambling, trying to make a play. His turnovers have come in aggressiveness, but they've just come back to hurt the St. Joseph Chargers team a little too much tonight.
And it seemed to be a cramp for that Eagles player on the far sideline. So now we are getting ready to get back into action after that long delay. And Pankow, let's see if he can actually get a playoff without a penalty or a injury happening, as they are at their own 2-yard line and 3rd and long for the Eagles, as Pankow sends Williams in motion, receives the snap in shotgun, being pressured, rolls to his right, throws to his right, and that ball will be intercepted by the Chargers. Returned all the way to the 10-yard line of the Eagles. That is number 12, Amir Bergy.
And that all started with a little bit of trouble caused. You see that pick there. That play started by the trouble caused by that tough Chargers D-line.
Excuse me, that was Jesse McDonald on an impressive interception there off of Pankow.
And all that pressure came from Shamar McDade Bishop on the play. He was chasing down Pankow on the play, forced him into making a bad throw on the run, give this Chargers offense.
And the entire offense of the Chargers is on the field, but they don't have the ball. They need a ball to get a playoff.
Huh, really?
And there,
Go figure.
yeah, right. And there goes the ball. Finally, they will have it at the Eagles' 10-yard line. So it is 1st and goal.
This is take 4.
And as you were mentioning, Ben, the freshman quarterback for the Chargers hands it off to number 35, Timms, and he takes it to about the 9-yard line, make that a gain of 1 for the Chargers.
I wonder if this is just maybe a different look that they want to give the Chicago Hope defense, or if they're really trying to get something going with the freshman. Granted, he just came out of the game.
Yeah, now it is back to Hayden in the pistol formation. Tim's right behind him. He takes the snap and fumbles it once again. Picks it up and gets taken down back at the 20-yard line of the Eagles. Once again, Hayden cannot control the snap. That was a decent snap.
And again, he just has to fall on the ball once he fumbles it. He's trying to do a little too much, trying to pick up the ball and make something happen. He's just got to go down that costs him another few yards.
And Coach Petrosky makes the change once again. So back to the freshman quarterback, Ezekiel Booth. And he is in the pistol formation, ready to take the snap. As he does, and he nearly fumbles it, and being pressured and taken down by number 26. That was Jared Pankow on the sack.
Jared Pankow coming off that right side of the defensive line. You wonder if Shamar McDade Bishop is a little winded tonight with the higher temperature here in mid-September. Pankow came off that edge with little resistance.
So now it is 4th and goal at their own at the Eagles' 29-yard line. Excuse me. The freshman Booth looking to take the snap, looks to his right towards the sideline to get the call. Now looking left, and there's the snap. Looks to his left, throws to his left, and that is overthrown over the head of Jesse McDonald. That was a miscommunication there on 4th down.
So that was what I would consider take 4 of the Chargers getting good field position, whether it be on turnovers or misplays, and then losing that field position, whether it be on turnovers or misplays.
And I know there's only 9 minutes left in this game, but still, when you're 4th and 35 for the goal, maybe you think about punting it, trying to pin them within the 10 if you can and force something on defense, but they might not really have had much of a chance.
If you don't have confidence in your punter, you're going to end up bringing the ball back to the 25 anyway.
So now Pankow at his own 29-yard line receives the snap, hands it off to Fabian, and he and makes it all the way to the 43-yard line, a 1st down for the Eagles.
I think we're going to get a high dose of Fein to end out this game, or to continue with these drives for Chicago Hope. They're up 3 scores, 10 minutes to go.
So now it is 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 43-yard line. Pankow ready to receive the snap. And he does, hands it off to Fein once again, as you called it, Ben, and he is up the middle of the field all the way to the Chargers' 48-yard line near a 1st down. So it'll be 2nd and short for the Eagles. Ben, as you were saying, Fein, a heavy dosage of Fein. Sorry, Evan, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying the seconds continue to wind down here, and now this is becoming a very dangerous situation for St. Joe's.
So this game seems to be out of reach now for the Chargers, as Pankow receives the snap in shotgun, hands it off to Fein once again. That is 3 runs in a row by Fein, and he does get the 1st down, so he is they are at the Chargers' 45-yard line.
I got to imagine if if the Eagles get another 1st down here, I think that's going to be just about it. It's not going to be reachable at that point, because that's going to give another fresh set of downs.
I mean, there is over 8.5 minutes left to be played in this game, but I mean, the Eagles are showing no signs of turning this ball over or giving it back to the Chargers. As Pankow sends Fein in motion, this time he hands it off to Williams, and Williams, the Eagles' power back, gets about 3 yards, make that 2 yards all the way to the 43-yard line of the Chargers.
And it looks like they're just using Fein as kind of a decoy there. I know earlier in the half, and a lot in the first half, they used Fein in motion on a lot of jet sweeps They brought it back in the second half a little bit, but now with a steady lead and just about 8 minutes to go, they're going to play him straight out of the backfield, and they're gonna have Williams back there with him as just kind of a lead blocker.
So Williams just went to the sideline, so now it is Eric Green and Fain, and Pankow looking to pass downfield, and nearly intercepted. McDonald jumped a little too early and almost caught there by the Eagles wide receiver. That was Campbell, but Zach Ford said, no, sir.
It's an interesting call there on second down. I guess I'm not too surprised about it. You take maybe one shot downfield on second down. You can always run it on third. Maybe start forcing St. Joseph's to dig into their timeouts a little bit, but I think it's going to be run heavy from here.
So now it is 3rd and 8 for the Eagles. Pankow takes the snap, hands it off to Fain. Fain up towards the right sideline, gets the first down and then some. Fain keeps going, makes it all the way to the 24-yard line of the Chargers, but there is a flag on the field. And what do you know, guys? Another penalty.
Go figure.
And on that last run, I mean, as long as Fain can get through that initial burst of the line, he's getting 6 to 7 yards, and on this carry, 15 yards that St. Joseph's doesn't really have much of an answer for him.
So that was a hold on the Eagles, so that will negate that nice gain by Fain. That will take them back to, let's see, the refs are still talking here. They called the hold back by the 26-yard line, so it'll be 4th, make that 3rd and short.
Either way, that takes what would have been a first down to a stop. At this point, it is still a stop.
Right, so it'll be 3rd and short at the Chargers' 39-yard line.
And the way they've been running the ball, you figure this is 4-down territory for them. They're already in St. Joseph's side of the field that they probably feel pretty confident they can get 4 yards here in 2 plays.
So now we are seeing a rare huddle by the Eagles. I think this is the first huddle I've seen by both teams.
This is, yeah, it's interesting. We don't have a play clock visible to us, I don't believe.
No, we do not.
No, we do not. But
So here is Pankow now, ready to receive the snap in shotgun and hands it off to Fain. Once again, Fain gets the first down and then some, all the way to the 34-yard line of the Chargers, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
I mean, the St. Joseph defense just kind of looks dejected at this point. It's a hot night. They've felt they've probably had to carry this team most of the night with the offense having pretty crucial turnovers. I know they've had their share of penalties, but it looks like St. Joseph's are just kind of broken by this point.
As Pankow gets ready to take the snap, as he does, hands it off to Fain. Once again, Fain up the middle, and a nice run carrying Chargers defenders with him as he is at the first down marker, and he might have a first down at the 25-yard line of the Chargers.
Fain's a strong dude. He just took that was Malik Mason. He just took for a ride there.
Wow.
10 yards, and really they've had no answer for Fain. It looks like Chicago Hopes found kind of the formula.
just a quick stat there. Yeah, Malik Mason is 6'5", 225 pounds.
And LaFabian Fain is 5'9", 174. They might be selling him short on the 5'9", as they hand the ball off to him once again and does not get the first down. So that was a 2nd and short. So now it will be 3rd and short for the Eagles.
I got my money. He's a little bit more than 5'9".
He looks taller than 5'9".
You gotta give his
Remember,
give Bergie's extra height.
I was just gonna say
Yeah,
that.
give Bergie's extra height over. How about that?
So Pankow in shotgun once again. Williams to his left, Fain right behind him. He takes the snap and looks back to pass, looks to his left, and the pass is incomplete, intended for number 20, Jordan Gracia. So it will be 4th down now, make that 4th and 4 for the Eagles. And as you were saying, Ben, just a minute ago, that you have to think they're going for it here.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think they have the leg for what would be about a 45-yard field goal. Blake Mason's coming back into the game. Hopefully you get a stop. He looks a little gassed coming out to that left edge.
Here's Pankow taking the snap, looks left, throws left, and the pass is caught by number 8. That is Treville Hilton, and that is a 4th down conversion for the Eagles. They are at the Chargers' 14-yard line. So now the Eagles continue to keep driving on the Chargers defense, and they do look a bit dejected, as you were saying. And now they are hurrying up. No huddle this time for Pankow, getting ready to receive the snap in shotgun. Takes the snap, hands it off to Fain, and Fain wide open, gaping hold, and he is in for the touchdown. But there is another flag on the field. It looked like a hold there by number 20, Jordan Gracia.
Yeah, and we'll wait to see
It is a hold.
So you look at that play here. Yeah, you can see that hold right there. Yep, just kind of thrown down. Refs make the easy call. So that touchdown will get called back, but I'm not sure it's going to mean all that much with the ball on the 14-yard line.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I didn't think that hold was all that necessary. I think Fain had the speed that he was destined for the end zone regardless.
Right, yeah. He was untouched to begin with. So it is 21-0. Chicago Hope Academy on top of the St. Joe's Chargers with 5:21 left in this fourth quarter as Pankow takes the snap, hands it off to Fain once again. This time Fain is met in the backfield by number 52, Shamar McDade Bishop.
I love that guy. That is my guy, definitely. Shamar McDade Bishop. He is a beast out there. Unfortunately, we haven't been saying his name all too much tonight, and that could be a big reason why St. Joe's is down on the scoreboard.
He has been dealing with a bit of an injury, but
and it's tough playing both sides of the ball, especially on a night like tonight.
That's true.
A lot of plays on defense and not sitting out plays on offense is going to hurt him.
Just another reason
Here's
why cold weather is better.
Pankow ready to take the snap with Williams to his left, 3 receivers to the top on the far sideline, and Pankow finally takes the snap, looks to his left, and passes complete to number 8 once again, Treville Hilton, and he is down at the 9-yard line of the Chargers.
And you saw there on that play, Ryan Flowers, the 6'1 senior, had a great chance to steal that ball away.
So it'll be 3rd and 5. It's for the Eagles. And here are the Eagles once again trying to hurry up and get a snap off. Pankow in shotgun, Williams to his right, Fain behind him, hands it off to Fain, and Fain is knocked down in the backfield. A 5-yard loss for the Eagles.
By Shamar McDade Bishop.
Shamar McDade Bishop. I love saying that name.
Shamar? Oh, yeah, my apologies. Shamar McDade Bishop. I love that name, though.
Yeah.
It is encouraging for St. Joseph's, so that he is having a strong end of the game. He's not giving up down 21. This game's out of touch for them with just under 4 minutes to go.
So now it is 4th down and 10. Pankow looks to throw, and there is a interception by Zach Ford. Ford on the near sideline, cuts back towards the middle of the field, is trying to return it. He needs to go up the field, stop trying to go towards the sideline, and he does, makes it all the way to midfield. A great interception there by Ford.
I mean, such a great play. Let's give him credit by Zach Ford, but it might be too little too late with 3:13 left on the clock. Let's see what they can do here, bringing out their offense.
And this is the same thing I was saying for Shamir earlier, is that at the least, anything they can take away from this game is that they have guys who haven't given up. And this and Zach Ford's been a guy all night who's been the emotional leader of this team. He's been the leader of the secondary. So at least this is something they can work on going into next week.
Yeah, it's good to see guys that are willing to hustle until they hear the buzzer.
So here's the freshman, Boost hands it off to Timms. Timms with a gaping hole up the middle, and he's still running down the middle of the field, and he is down at the 15-yard line of the Eagles. A great run there by Timms.
Coach Prochowski's on the sideline, waving his arm, signaling what looks like to be a hurry-up offense, and that does not surprise me with only 3 minutes left on the clock.
So the clock is ticking with just under 3 minutes left. Boost the freshman in the pistol, and a timeout is called by the Eagles. Wow. Yeah, so the Chargers were driving there. Probably the Eagles defense a little winded there towards the end of that run.
And it'll be important for St. Joseph's here coming out of this timeout to get a quick score if they want to get back in this game somehow. I know there's only 3 minutes left in this game, but a quick score will be necessary here.
Yeah, as you were saying, going into next week, you don't want to get shut out in your home at your home field after shutting out your last two opponents. And it is 21-0 with just under 3 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter, as the St. Joe's Chargers are driving. Tony Guzman here alongside Evan Lotz and Ben McClavick.
And honestly, St. Joseph's is going to want to work on something here, work on some offense going into next week. Seemingly right now they're going to be 2-2 going into play at St. Ignatius next week. That's a school that, you know, has 1,400 kids. That's 4 times the size of St. Joseph's. And depending on what they do tonight, the St. Ignatius is either going to be 3-1 or 4-0. So it's going to be an important game going for St. Joseph's if they want to make the playoffs.
So another tough matchup looking forward to next week for the Chargers, as they are looking to get a touchdown here on this drive, as they have the freshman Boost who takes the snap and fakes the handoff, rolls to his left. Actually, he did hand it off there to Timms, and there's a loss on the play all the way back toward the 20-yard line of the Eagles.
And I mentioned Trayvon Timms earlier. We were talking about him and his speed. He just didn't get enough field to take it to his left and then run it into the end zone.
So now it will be 2nd and 12 at the make that the 20-yard line. Boost still the quarterback, nearly fumbles the snap, throws to his left and caught. No, they say incomplete. It looked like he had his feet inbound there by McDonald. Beautiful back shoulder pass, but no, they call incomplete.
We'll definitely get another look at this here. Let's see, that snap was high, and the pass to the left. So we slow it down. It just needs to be 1 foot. We don't get a great view, but it looked like it was at it.
Might have been hovering, might have not been. It's too tough to tell there. Obviously, no replay in high school football, but it's pretty close there.
And McDonald is still down on the ground. He gets up now, but that was a great effort.
Doesn't look like he was injured. It looks like he was almost lamenting, honestly.
Oh, was that?
Is that the right word? I'm not great with the.
That was actually number 14, McPhail.
Hard to tell on the far side of the field.
I mean, from our angle, I know we're on the exact opposite side of the field, but that looked like a catch. It looked like he had 2 feet in bounds.
I think he definitely did have 2 feet in bounds.
I don't know if it was if he didn't have full control of the ball going out of bounds, but it did seem to have. He did seem to have his feet in bounds.
I just think there was probably not enough for the ref to go off of there. Nothing to give him a definitive answer on that one. Too much doubt.
So now it is 3rd down and long for the Chargers, as Boost takes the snap, looks right, throws right, and that's incomplete. But there is a flag on the play. That was intended for number 88, Malik Mason, and finally he was asking for the flag, and he gets it.
Let's look at that play again. Now he goes out to the right. And, I mean, hands in the face right there, shoved away. That was clearly a catchable ball. Good call there by the refs for a passing interference.
That was number 6, Justin Adams for the Eagles. And as you saw, he did turn back towards the ball, but there was plenty of contact before the ball got to Mason. And there are 2 penalties against the Eagles.
Roughing the passer is accepted by the Chargers.
And there was the pass interference, and the other one was roughing the passer. So the roughing the passer will be accepted, and that will take the Chargers all the way to the 10-yard line of the Eagles.
Now I'm getting really nervous when you say St. Joe's offense in 10-yard line, because lately we've been talking about this. All we've seen is mishandled snaps, turnovers, fumbles, bad penalties. Let's see if we can get in the end zone.
Once again, the line marker has 3rd down. Okay, so it is third
first
down?
They're now marking 1st down, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is where there's been confusion the entire game. It should be a 1st down. Finally, they switch it from 3rd to 1st. And now it is 1st and goal at the 10-yard line for the Chargers. And Boost, the freshman, looking to take the snap.
And that confusion caused a costly turnover on downs that arguably cost St. Joe's the game.
And Boost takes the snap, hands it off to Timms. Timms up the middle for a gain of a couple. And he is down at about the 8-yard line of the Eagles. So Boost, I mean, he's playing pretty well here.
Pretty confident on that roughing the passer. He did take a hit. Do got to admire the courage you have to stand in the pocket, get that ball, get that ball out while taking the hit.
And Trezon Timms is walking off to the sideline there, sprinting off, my apologies, but it looks like the teams will convene here. We have a player down. It looks like an injured Eagle.
Could be cramping at this point in the game. It's late in the night. The heat definitely being a factor for a lot of these guys.
As there is 2 minutes and 5 seconds left here in this fourth quarter at Elmhurst College. Tony Guzman here alongside Evan Lotz and Ben McClavick. Guys, so far, what's your assessment of the game, honestly? I mean, it's been an eventful game.
I mean, it's just been disjointed for whether it be the injuries or the penalties. And if I'm either team, I'm not exactly encouraged by what I've seen here tonight. St. Joseph's, they definitely have a tough road ahead going with. They need to find some sort of identity on offense, like I said, going into the St. Ignatius game. Next week, Chicago Hope. They're going to have to break in a new quarterback going forward as a 6th-ranked team in 2A. They're going to have a tough time going forward with a new quarterback.
So that was number 58, Patrick Ross, the injured player for the Eagles, as Boos is back in shotgun, ready to take the snap as he does. Looks right, throws right, and overthrows Malik Mason once again, but there is another flag on the play. It looks to be another pass interference. That was number 12, Javon Bailey, on the coverage for the Eagles, and the call might be on him.
I've absolutely lost count on how many penalties we've had this game, but I would take a guess that it is in the high 20s, low 30s.
It has to be over 30.
Over 30.
I mean, there was 10 on the first drive.
Oh yeah.
We gotta.
Oh, I forgot all those encroachment calls as well. Yeah.
We got a couple guesses here in the press box. We got 140, 150. So, I mean, we might be selling it short. So here is Boos in shotgun. Takes the snap, looks right once again. An incomplete intended for Zach Ford, who might have hurt his hand there.
Jammed his finger on the turf, possibly.
Yeah.
Little dig route that was just a little bit underthrown by Boos.
Now, I'm not exactly sure what the situation would be in 1st and goal, but I thought pass interference was an automatic first down no matter what.
It should be.
But now it's 3rd down. I thought pass interference should be an automatic first down.
So now apparently it is 3rd and goal, and a high snap, and it is recovered by the Eagles. Another turnover in the red zone by the Chargers.
Did I not call that though? I said miss.
Call it
snaps.
or jinx it, however you want to say it. You might have jinxed them.
Perhaps.
And that's kind of been the story of the night. Even these last couple of drives, a lot of the snaps have been high. Problems converting in the red zone. Not really an identity of what they want to do in the red zone. They haven't had a whole lot of luck running the ball. The passing game with Boos coming in now as a freshman, not having a whole lot of experience.
So
that right there,
apologies.
though, that was entirely on the center for the Chargers. That was a high snap. He's had a couple high snaps in the game. That's how Caleb Hayden had a couple fumbles, and now it just seems like Chicago Hope Academy Eagles will run the clock down as there's a minute 25 left in this game, as they are up 21-0 on the Chargers.
And that is really unfortunate for St. Joe's. They had plenty of opportunities to get in the end zone tonight and just could not get it done. Looks like the Eagles might be attacking.
Pankow in shotgun, hands it off to Fain. Fain goes towards his right and gets a couple yards there, as they are just trying to run the clock up. Not that they're trying to take a knee, but they are running the ball so they could run the clock down.
Yeah, St. Joseph still has 2 timeouts left, but they seem pretty resigned to their fate tonight that it's just not going to happen for them.
Yeah, if they would have scored a touchdown there, then maybe an onside kick so they can conserve those 2 timeouts. But at this point, there's nothing left.
I'm never about those onside kicks. I feel like the rate of recovery for the kicking team is just so low. It just doesn't make sense.
I mean, really, at that point, if that would have happened, you have nothing to lose. You're down 2 scores if it's 7-21. As Pankow hands the ball off, that was Fain.
3rd down upcoming.
So it'll be 3rd and 8 for the Eagles, as there's 30 seconds left in the ball game, and that might do it. Or they are looking. They actually have to run one more play. Nope, that is it. That'll do it. So it will be 21-0 Chicago Hope Academy Eagles on top of the St. Joseph Chargers here at Elmhurst College. And we are going to take a time out, and we will be back for some post-game coverage here at Elmhurst College in Elmhurst, Illinois. We will be right back.
Chicago Hope Eagles 21 at St. Joseph Chargers 0.
I'd like to remind you one last time that tonight's game was brought to you by Meatheads. Don't forget to stop by Meatheads at 1.
I want to have fun and meet new people. I want to be social. The Illinois Media School has so many cool things they offer for me and their students. With the amount of stuff you learn, there's no way you won't succeed. You'll learn how to do a voiceover, how to use camera equipment. I mean actual hands-on. You can even host your own radio or TV show. All of our instructors actually work in the industry too. So go to beonair.com and start your future in broadcasting today. The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
The Illinois Media.
Welcome back to Elmhurst College. The final score is 21 Eagles and nothing for the Chargers as they were shut out on their home field. And the story of the game for the Chargers, you have to think, were the turnovers and the penalties. Tony Guzman here alongside Evan Lotz and Ben McClavick, streaming live on Facebook through the Illinois Media School page. Guys, your final assessment on the game.
Definitely costly turnovers in the red zone. They had 5 tries tonight. St. Joe's had 5 tries tonight within the 10-yard line to score. They had a turnover on downs, 2 fumbles, and then I believe 1 interception. Actually, that may be incorrect. I believe it was another fumble. But anyway, name of the game, costly turnovers where they could have transferred into maybe a productive play, a pass out to the left, or just a run up the middle to get into the end zone. But missed snaps, mishandled plays, and just all-around lack of communication just cost the boys the game and didn't get them on the board tonight.
For me, coming in, like I said in the pregame, is that I wanted this game for St. Joseph's to be a barometer on where they stood in Class 2A, going up a Chicago Hope team that, like I said, put 70 points up on last year's 2A state champs. And they came out today, and they didn't really have any identity, I felt, on offense. They had trouble with Chicago Hope's rush, couldn't get much done rushing, couldn't find really a consistent passing game. So going in 2-2 next week to St. Ignatius, a team that's been started the season 3-0, I think they really have to do some work if they want to return to the playoffs this year.
And that'll do it for us here at Elmhurst College. Once again, the final score is Chicago Hope Academy 21, St. Joseph Chargers nothing. Thanks for tuning in on the Illinois Media School Facebook page, and we'll see you next time.